You lie comfortably, your eyes gradually closing, and with every passing second, the weight of your body begins to fade. It's as if invisible hands are gently lifting you upward. Before you, a window slowly opens, vast, almost infinite. The stars shine brighter than you've ever seen from Earth. You realize that you are standing on the edge between reality and dream. And then, your first step. A gentle sensation of weightlessness envelops you. You seem to float in an invisible ocean of light. Every star around you is a sun with its own planets, many of which human eyes have never seen. Your gaze is drawn to a giant planet. It rotates slowly, reflecting the faint light of its star. A thought comes to you. Humans once dreamed of being this close, but until recently they could not even imagine seeing it with their own eyes. Today, you are one of those who can truly feel it. You remember the first astronauts, Yuri Gagarin, Valentina Tereshkova, Neil Armstrong. Their steps were the first, but your journey in this dream is entirely your own. It is not limited by time or the laws of physics. You can float next to a spacecraft, watching solar panels slowly rotate, following the sun, reflecting light into the surrounding void. Around you, there is absolute silence, but it is not frightening. It is filled with expectation, as if the universe itself is breathing with you. You feel like a tiny part of the vast, infinite cosmos, and at the same time, incredibly free. No gravity, no rush, only you and the endless light. Gradually, the first objects closer to Earth appear before your eyes. Artificial satellites, orbital stations. You pass by them as if in slow motion, observing their intricate structures. The metallic surfaces gleam and the panels seem alive. They turn to follow the star, ensuring their energy supply never runs out. You feel your breathing slow, your heartbeat steady. In this state, you can glance at the history of space exploration, recalling how humans first experienced weightlessness, how they learned to live in orbit, how scientists planned flights to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Every moment here is both reality and dream, fantasy and science. And then, you make your first conscious flight into the darker regions of space. There, where starlight hasn't yet reached, you see tiny nebulae, clouds of gas and dust from which new stars are born. You understand? Each of these nebulae is like an old dream, giving rise to new worlds. Finally, you pause for a moment. Looking back, Earth appears in the distance, blue, delicate, and astonishingly fragile. It's like a precious gem amidst the black velvet void. You realize this is your home, your starting point. But for now, you are a traveler, floating in weightlessness, and the entire universe stretches ahead of you. The dream will continue, and your journey has only just begun. In the next chapter, you will approach the moon and feel the cold shimmer of its surface, seeing craters and smooth valleys, as if the moon itself is waiting for your arrival. You glide forward, and slowly, the Earth shrinks behind you. The endless blackness of space stretches ahead, speckled with stars. But now your attention is drawn to a new, silvery glow in the distance. The moon. Its surface reflects the sun in a soft, metallic light, and you can already see details. The craters, the smooth plains, the valleys that have existed for billions of years. As you get closer, the moon seems enormous, yet peaceful. You can almost feel the ancient silence it has held for eons, a quiet that no human voice has ever disturbed. Your dream body drifts over the rugged highlands and the vast, flat Maria. You notice the sharp contrast between the dark basalt plains and the bright, jagged mountains surrounding them. You recall real facts about this celestial body. Astronauts walked here for the first time in 1969, leaving footprints that may remain for millions of years. You imagine yourself floating above those exact spots, tracing the paths of human explorers with your eyes without leaving a trace. Suddenly, a gentle pull draws you closer to a crater. Its edges are sharply defined, casting long shadows across the dusty floor. You descend slowly, feeling as if you could reach out and touch the lunar soil. Dust rises in tiny clouds as if time itself pauses here. The surface is silent, yet alive with history, a record of impacts and celestial collisions that shaped this lonely world. From your vantage point, you see Earth hanging in the sky like a blue jewel, distant but familiar. You realize how delicate and unique it is, spinning in the vast darkness while you float above the silent moon. The contrast is astonishing. The barren gray of the moon and the vibrant blues and greens of your home planet. You drift toward the terminator, the line between day and night on the moon. On one side, the sun casts dazzling light across craters. On the other, shadows stretch endlessly, concealing secrets of millions of years. You feel a strange calm, a perfect balance between light and darkness, life and silence. And then, for a moment, you imagine the possibility of walking here, leaving tiny imprints in the lunar dust, feeling the low gravity tug at your body. You understand how astronauts learn to hop and float in this strange environment, how every step had to be deliberate, careful, yet exhilarating. The moon is not just a rock. It's a story of the solar system, a silent witness to cosmic events, a companion to Earth for billions of years. You sense its energy, its history, and the profound stillness that stretches across its surface. Your journey continues. Beyond the moon, the solar system awaits. Planets, rings, asteroids, and distant worlds yet to be imagined. You feel a thrill of anticipation, knowing that the dream is only beginning, and the universe is vast, waiting for you to explore every corner of it. You leave the moon behind, and the void of space stretches infinitely before you. The stars seem brighter now, each one a distant sun, and the feeling of weightlessness wraps around you like a soft cloak. Ahead, a new destination emerges in your mind, Mars, the red planet, waiting silently in the solar wind. As you approach, the planet grows larger, its rusty red surface etched with canyons, valleys, and massive volcanoes. Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the solar system, rises like a giant sentinel, a monument to the power of geological forces. You drift closer and see Valles Marineris, a canyon system so vast it could swallow entire continents. Its shadowed depths are mysterious, as if the planet itself holds secrets billions of years old. You feel the difference immediately. Unlike the moon's silence, Mars has a presence, an atmosphere so thin it barely whispers, yet enough to carry a sense of motion. Dust swirls across its surface, sculpting the landscape in slow, deliberate patterns. You float over its plains, imagining the storms that sweep across them, powerful yet invisible from your high vantage point. Your mind recalls the missions humans sent here, rovers like Perseverance and Curiosity, tiny explorers tirelessly traversing the Martian soil, sending back whispers of this distant world. You imagine following their tracks, feeling the red dust cling to your dream form, tracing paths that are both alien and strangely familiar. The planet rotates slowly beneath you, and you see polar ice caps glinting in the sunlight, frozen reminders of water and the potential for life long ago. You understand that Mars is a story of extremes: cold deserts, towering mountains, and canyons carved by forces both known and mysterious. For a moment you descend closer, skimming the surface, feeling a low gravity tug at your body. You hop lightly, almost bouncing across craters, as if experiencing the joy and freedom of first explorers stepping onto this alien world. The landscape is breathtaking, vast, and silent, yet alive in a way that the moon never was. Looking back toward Earth, it is a tiny blue marble now, a distant memory suspended in the blackness. And yet, there is a connection, a reminder that all these worlds are part of a larger story, a cosmic web in which you are now a traveler. You rise higher, letting the entire planet spread beneath you. The sunset casts long shadows over the red plains, turning ridges and craters into a mosaic of warm colors. You feel the pulse of the planet, ancient and steady, and realize that even in the emptiness of space there is rhythm, history, and beauty waiting to be felt. Your journey continues. Beyond Mars, the giant planets of the solar system beckon: Jupiter, Saturn, and their moons. Each world holds wonders, mysteries, and experiences beyond imagination. You feel anticipation rising, knowing that your dream voyage has only begun, and the cosmos is vast, welcoming you to explore every corner of it. You leave the red planet behind, and the vastness of space stretches ahead, filled with glittering stars and distant suns. Far in the distance, a colossal presence begins to dominate your view. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, its swirling bands of color, reds, browns, creams, and whites, twist and spiral like a living storm. You feel the immense gravity from here, though it cannot touch you in this dream world. As you draw closer, the planet's storms become mesmerizing. The great red spot looms, a hurricane larger than Earth itself, spinning continuously for centuries. You float above it, observing the chaotic beauty, feeling a strange awe at the sheer scale of forces at work. The winds whip with unimaginable speed, yet from your distance they are hypnotic, almost musical in their rhythm. Jupiter's moons begin to appear around you, tiny worlds orbiting their giant parent. Io, with its volcanic fury, sends plumes of sulfur into space. Europa glimmers, a frozen ocean world hiding mysteries beneath its icy crust. Ganymede, the largest moon in the solar system, stretches like a miniature planet itself, and Callisto, scarred by countless impacts, tells the story of a violent past. You glide among these moons, feeling the incredible scale and diversity. Each has its own personality, its own history, and you realize that the universe is full of worlds, each waiting to be explored, each with secrets older than humanity itself. The planet's magnetic field stretches across space, invisible but palpable, interacting with charged particles to create auroras of green and purple light near the poles. You drift through these shimmering curtains, a silent observer of cosmic energy, watching the interplay of light and force. For a moment, you imagine what it would be like to land on Europa, to break through the ice and see the ocean beneath, or to feel the heat of Io's volcanoes from a safe distance. Jupiter is not just a planet, it is a system, a world of worlds, a hub of cosmic motion and power. Looking back, the inner planets, Earth, Mars, and even the Moon, are distant jewels, tiny in comparison, yet familiar and comforting. You feel a deep connection to them even as you explore these giant realms. The vastness of space and the enormity of Jupiter inspire a mixture of humility and exhilaration. You rise higher, taking in the planet as a whole. Its beauty is immense, chaotic, yet harmonious. You feel the pulse of the largest world in the solar system, a reminder of the scale of creation, the forces that shape planets, storms, and moons. Ahead, Saturn awaits, its rings sparkling like crystals, an invitation to continue the journey through the wonders of the outer solar system. You feel anticipation, knowing that the dream voyage will soon take you to the next magnificent giant. You leave Jupiter's storms behind and glide farther into the depths of the solar system. Ahead, a new spectacle unfolds. Saturn, the planet of rings, majestic and serene. From a distance, the golden hue of its atmosphere shimmers softly, and the intricate bands of clouds spiral in delicate patterns. As you draw closer, the rings come into view, vast, glittering, and impossibly thin in places. Ice and rock orbit the planet in a cosmic dance, catching sunlight and scattering it into sparkling fragments. You drift among them, marveling at their beauty. Each fragment tells a story, remnants of moons and ancient collisions, frozen in time. You notice Saturn's moons appearing in the distance. Titan, cloaked in a thick orange haze, holds lakes of liquid methane, an alien world teeming with chemical mystery. Enceladus shines like a diamond, its icy geysers shooting plumes of water into space. You float between these moons, imagining the forces that shaped them, the hidden oceans beneath the ice, the potential for life in the quiet shadows. The planet itself exudes calm power. Its storms are less chaotic than Jupiter's, but no less impressive. Winds ripple across the atmosphere, carrying clouds of ammonia and methane in elegant sweeps. You sense the scale. This is a world many times larger than Earth, yet you move among it effortlessly, free in your dream form. For a moment, you glide through the rings themselves. Tiny particles collide, shift, and sparkle like diamonds on black velvet. You trace paths between them, feeling as if you could reach out and touch history itself. The story of Saturn's formation, billions of years in the making. Looking back, Jupiter fades into the distance, a swirling giant among stars. Earth, Mars, and the Moon are tiny dots, fragile and familiar. And here, in the shadow of Saturn, you feel the vastness of the solar system stretching before you. Each planet, each moon, each ring is a note in the symphony of space, and you are floating within it. You rise higher, circling the planet and taking in the full scope of its grandeur. The sunlight glints off the rings, casting shimmering reflections across the clouds. The serene golden beauty of Saturn fills you with awe, reminding you that even in the quiet of space, there is magic and wonder. Ahead, the icy giants, Uranus and Neptune, await, mysterious and distant, promising new colors, new worlds, and new experiences. You feel a thrill of anticipation, knowing that your journey has only just begun and that the outer solar system holds wonders beyond imagination. You leave Saturn behind, gliding farther into the deep, silent reaches of the solar system. The stars seem colder now, sharper, and a faint blue-green glow begins to appear in the distance. Uranus, the tilted ice giant, waits silently. Its pale cyan hue is unlike any planet you've seen before, serene yet mysterious. As you approach, you notice its unusual tilt. The planet rolls along its orbit almost on its side, as if it is tumbling gracefully through space. This tilt makes Uranus different from all the other planets, a quiet oddity in the cosmic dance. Its faint rings, dark and narrow, circle the planet like delicate threads in the void. The atmosphere glows softly in shades of blue and green, caused by methane absorbing red light. You drift closer, feeling the chill of the distant sun, sensing the frozen nature of this world. The winds blow in a slow, continuous motion, much faster than on Earth, carrying storms hidden beneath the icy clouds. Uranus has moons too, each unique. Titania and Oberon rise as rocky landscapes dotted with craters. Miranda, with its strange cliffs and valleys, looks like a patchwork of fractured ice and rock, a world that has endured violent forces and yet remains beautiful in its strangeness. You float above them, feeling their isolation, their quiet stories written over billions of years. The planet exudes calm, almost eerie power. Here, in the cold reaches of the solar system, the emptiness is more profound, yet mesmerizing. You sense that Uranus is a world of extremes, distant, tilted, icy, but graceful. Its silent presence reminds you of the vast diversity of planets, the variety of worlds that exist in our cosmic neighborhood. From your vantage point, the rings catch the faint sunlight and shimmer faintly, casting subtle reflections across the planet's atmosphere. You feel the slow rotation, the long seasons caused by its tilt, and imagine centuries passing in the quiet orbit around the sun. Looking back toward the inner planets, they appear tiny, distant, almost like memories of home. You float between Uranus and the endless darkness, a silent observer of a frozen, tilted world. And ahead, Neptune glows faintly in the distance, promising deeper blues, stronger winds, and the mysteries of the outermost giant planet. You rise higher, circling Uranus, taking in its unique color, tilt, and icy beauty. A feeling of anticipation builds as you set your course toward Neptune, knowing that the dream voyage continues into the coldest, most mysterious regions of the solar system. You leave Uranus behind, drifting farther into the outer reaches of the solar system. Ahead, a deep, mesmerizing blue appears, a color richer and darker than any ocean on Earth. Neptune, the outermost giant planet, emerges from the darkness, vast and mysterious, surrounded by the silence of the distant sun. As you approach, the winds of Neptune seem almost tangible, even in your dream form. They roar invisibly, reaching speeds faster than a hurricane on Earth, shaping storms and clouds across the pale blue atmosphere. The great dark spot, a massive storm, drifts slowly, like a shadow moving across the face of this distant world. You float above it, feeling the immense scale of energy contained within this icy giant. Neptune's rings are faint, almost ghostly, encircling the planet in delicate arcs. Its moons, like Triton, appear icy and enigmatic. Triton's surface is scarred with ridges and geysers, hinting at frozen oceans and geologic activity hidden beneath the icy crust. You drift past it, marveling at the frozen, dynamic world, so far from the warmth of the sun yet alive in its own way. The blue of Neptune is mesmerizing. It seems to vibrate softly, a living color that draws you in, evoking both wonder and serenity. You notice the subtle clouds and storms shifting across its surface, a delicate dance of gas and wind in a realm almost untouched by human eyes. From this distance, the inner planets are tiny, familiar jewels hanging in the darkness. Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. They feel like memories of warmth and light compared to the icy majesty of Neptune. Yet even here, there is beauty, a harmony in the chaos of storms and the soft glow of distant sunlight. You circle the planet slowly, observing the vast scale, the moving storms, the rings and moons. Neptune feels alive, a quiet sentinel at the edge of the solar system, holding secrets of formation and cosmic forces in its icy grasp. You sense its energy, the centuries of wind and storms, and the endless mysteries that lie beneath its clouds. As you rise higher, you take in the planet as a whole. The deep blue glows softly in the distance, mysterious and inviting. You feel a sense of awe, knowing that even at the far reaches of the solar system, there are worlds full of beauty, wonder, and untold stories. Ahead, beyond Neptune, the Kuiper Belt stretches out, a vast frontier of icy bodies and dwarf planets. Your journey continues into the outermost regions of the solar system, where tiny worlds hold the quiet history of the sun's creation. You leave Neptune behind, drifting farther into the frozen outskirts of the solar system. The sun is now a distant, faint glow, barely illuminating the vast darkness. Around you stretches the Kuiper Belt, a mysterious frontier filled with icy bodies, dwarf planets, and remnants of the solar system's formation. Tiny specks of ice and rock float silently, glittering faintly in the distant sunlight. Some are no larger than a house, while others, like Pluto, are worlds of their own. You glide past Pluto, the most famous of these distant objects, its heart-shaped glacier glowing softly. You imagine the New Horizons spacecraft visiting this tiny world, revealing mountains, plains, and icy craters far from the warmth of the sun. Other dwarf planets, like Haumea and Makemake, drift silently nearby, spinning slowly in the emptiness. Their surfaces are frozen and reflective, mysterious and untouched. You float among them, feeling the stillness, the slow passage of time, and the quiet power of these ancient objects. Each one holds secrets of the early solar system, remnants of a time when planets were forming and the sun was young. The silence here is profound. There are no winds, no storms, only the faint glimmer of distant stars and the occasional reflection from an icy surface. You sense the age of this place, billions of years of solitude, frozen yet eternal. Floating through the Kuiper Belt, you feel like a visitor to the very edge of the known solar system, where the familiar gives way to the unknown. You drift past clusters of icy rocks, imagining them colliding gently or drifting apart over eons. You can almost feel the history embedded in each fragment, the story of a solar system still evolving in the quiet darkness. Even Pluto's small moons, Nix, Hydra, Styx, and Kerberos, seem to dance in slow motion, tiny companions in this frozen ballet. Looking back, Neptune glows faintly in the distance, a reminder of the giant planets and their storms. Earth and the inner planets are now tiny points of light, almost forgotten as you explore the frozen frontier of the Kuiper Belt. You realize that the solar system is vast beyond imagination, filled with worlds both large and small, each holding its own mysteries. You rise gently, taking in the full scope of this distant region. The icy bodies shimmer like distant stars, frozen witnesses to the formation of planets and the birth of the sun. Ahead, the scattered objects of the Oort Cloud await, whispering of comets, distant orbits, and the edge of the sun's influence. Your journey continues, and the farthest reaches of the solar system call you onward, deeper into the mystery and silence of space, where new discoveries and cosmic wonders lie waiting. You drift beyond the Kuiper Belt, farther into the dark, cold reaches of the solar system. Here, the sun is no longer a brilliant light. It is a distant, pale glow, barely illuminating the endless void. Ahead stretches the Oort Cloud, a vast spherical region filled with icy bodies and comets, the outermost boundary of the sun's influence. Tiny icy objects float silently, remnants of the earliest days of the solar system. Some are no larger than boulders, others as big as mountains. You glide among them, feeling the solitude and the profound age of this distant frontier. Each object is a frozen relic, untouched for billions of years, carrying the memory of the sun's birth. As you move, you notice a comet approaching, its icy nucleus glowing faintly. Dust and gas trail behind it, forming a brilliant tail that stretches millions of kilometers. You float alongside, mesmerized by the delicate beauty, a cosmic wanderer traveling through space for eons. The comet's tail glimmers in the faint sunlight, a reminder that even at the edge of the solar system, life and motion exist. You imagine the journey of these comets, hurtling inward toward the sun, crossing the orbits of planets, occasionally visiting the inner solar system, only to return to the dark reaches again. They are messengers of the distant past, carrying secrets of the building blocks that once formed planets, and perhaps even life itself. The vastness of the Oort Cloud surrounds you, a quiet sea of ice and rock extending nearly a light year from the sun. You feel the immensity of it, the isolation, and the delicate gravitational balance holding it all together. Here the solar system seems endless, a frozen shell at the edge of the known universe. Looking back, Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter are now tiny jewels of color in the distance, while Earth is just a faint pale dot, home and memory combined. You float in the emptiness, suspended in the silence, knowing you are at the outermost frontier of your solar journey. You rise gently, letting the full scope of this region surround you. Comets, icy bodies, and distant dwarf planets glimmer softly, ancient witnesses to cosmic history. Ahead, the interstellar space beyond the sun beckons, a vast ocean of stars, nebulae, and galaxies waiting to be explored. Your dream voyage is about to leave the solar system, moving into the galaxy itself, where new wonders, stars, and planets will unfold before your eyes. The universe stretches endlessly, and you are ready to journey further. You leave the solar system behind, gliding into the vast, uncharted emptiness of interstellar space. The sun is now just another distant star among countless others. The silence here is absolute, yet full of wonder. You drift past distant stars, some young and vibrant, others ancient and dim, each with its own planets, moons, and secrets. Nebulae glow softly in colors you can almost taste. Fiery reds, deep blues, and shimmering purples, clouds of gas and dust where new stars are being born. You feel the scale of the universe around you, infinite and breathtaking. Star clusters drift by like glowing islands in the void, their light traveling for thousands of years to reach you. The Milky Way, your galactic home, arcs across the sky in a river of silver, a reminder of the billions of worlds spinning silently in cosmic harmony. Comets and interstellar dust drift past, tiny sparks of history and creation. You float among them effortlessly, feeling both insignificant and infinitely connected to everything around you. Each particle, each star, each glowing nebula tells a story, a chapter in the history of the galaxy itself. You imagine the journeys of other civilizations, distant explorers you may never meet, their telescopes and spaceships probing the same stars you now drift past. The galaxy is vast, full of mysteries and potential, a living, breathing entity of unimaginable beauty. Looking back, the sun and your solar system are tiny points of light, yet they carry everything you know, everything familiar. Ahead, the spiral arms of the Milky Way stretch endlessly, inviting you to continue the voyage through clusters, supernova remnants, and dark, empty regions where gravity quietly shapes the cosmos. As you move, you feel weightless, free, and limitless. The universe is not just around you, it flows through you. Stars pulse softly, nebulae glow, and you glide effortlessly among galaxies in the silent music of space. You understand finally that this dream voyage is not just a journey through distance, but through time, light, and imagination. You rise higher, looking at the galaxy as a whole. Countless stars, planets, and mysteries stretch endlessly in all directions. You feel awe, serenity, and the joy of exploration, knowing that in this dream, you have traveled farther than any human ever could. And in this quiet moment, suspended between stars and galaxies, you understand that the universe is infinite, the possibilities endless, and your imagination has the power to explore them all. Your dream voyage is complete, yet it will continue every time your mind drifts into the boundless cosmos.